we're going to have, 150,000 plus, providing we have 3 great days of weather.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome back to the Comstock channel. I'm Marlin Bohling with you. Always a treat to visit with you. And as always, I want to remind you to make sure you like these videos, subscribe to the videos by clicking on the bell icon down below, and you can share these videos with others as well. We sure appreciate the support as we continue to be one of the fastest growing ag podcasts out there in the country. So it's all thanks to you. Thanks for doing that. Appreciate it. And with me today, I'm pleased to have Don Tourte with us. He is with the Farm Progress Show. And oh my gosh, I can't believe it, Don. It's about that time of year already for the annual
it
Farm
comes
Progress
fast.
Show.
It comes
Yes,
fast,
it
doesn't
does.
it? It's
It comes up
it's
really
ready
fast.
or not.
Now,
Here it is.
and you guys alternate, right? You go between Iowa and Illinois and back and forth and back and forth. This year it's in Iowa, right?
That's correct. Even years in Iowa, odd years in Illinois. Yep.
All right. So before we get into the details of it, let's remind our audience where it is. How do we find you there location-wise this year?
Well, we're in Boone, Iowa, would be the address of this, and it's right on Highway 30. So if you're familiar with like Ames, Iowa, which is right off of 35, just come on over on Highway 30 and you'll be here. Or if you want to come from the north, we do have a new overpass just right by the show site, so you can come down Highway 17. But very easy to find and very accessible.
So has anything changed from last year? Do you have any new things to brag about this year?
Well, we think every year should change. That's our job, is to make sure that every single Farm Progress show is new and exciting and different, because we don't want people coming here and going, wow, been there, done that. So, I mean, first and foremost, technology is new every single year. And that's what this show's all about, is the latest and greatest in ag technology. And this year's going to be no different. There's every single lot probably has some new thing that's going to make farmers more productive, hopefully make them more money and help feed the world. So that's first and foremost. We also always try doing new things. And, here in Iowa, there's always a little, some fun. We have like the Canine Superstars. We have something called America's Wall of Honor. Those are new things that have never been here before. We also have a lot of new exhibitors. Our VIT tent, if you've seen that, those are the 10 by 10 exhibits, oftentimes new customers to the show that have not been here. The biggest tent on the grounds. We sold that out back in April, so we've built another one, and it's also sold out. So those are new exhibitors that have never been at the Farm Progress Show before. So lots of new things to see and do here, Marlin.
So give us an idea. How many exhibitors are you looking at this year now?
We're right at 600, just below 600. And the grounds are, for all practical purposes, sold out. You'll find a few lots here and there, kind of just, those that are still there. But amazingly, even today, I've had a couple more people try getting in. So, it's about as close to a sellout as we would ever get.
Now, this is actually a working show. You do have field demonstrations out there. And talk to me about how the field conditions are this year. I would think you couldn't have asked for a better year.
That's a great question. It's been a great growing season. They're combining as we speak, taking off all the, opening it up for our ride and drives, tuning up combines. The corn looks great, and it will be ready to combine next week.
Interesting stuff. Any new innovations that will be unveiled this year, do you think?
Well, there's always new stuff unveiled. And, I'm probably the last person to ever know exactly everything that's going on out there. I do know when you're talking about combines, though, Case IH, it is their quote unquote the year of the combine. So they're introducing a brand new combine out there. I know that Calmer Cornheads has a new concave head that they'll be having out in the field demonstrations. And I'm sure there's more, Marlin, and I apologize to those companies that I didn't mention. But those are the ones right off the top of my head when you're talking about field demonstrations and combining specifically. Of course, we do tillage after that, so there's a lot of tillage that happens out there. There's ride and drive areas. I think there's 5 different companies doing side-by-sides and ride and drives with those. So lots of things happening.
Of course, I've been involved with these farm shows for, over 40 years. Between this and Husker Harvest Days and the 3i show, there's just a whole bunch of them out in the Midwest. The thing that always strikes me is the new stuff that comes out. Anymore, agriculture is really high tech, isn't it?
Absolutely. We work for a big multinational company, and we always say agriculture is the most technical industry out there. I mean, farmers have to be so smart to do what they do. I think the stereotype of a lot of people of a farmer back in the old days anyway, was nothing like what it takes to be a farmer. I mean, I'm not sure. I look at my brother or my nephew who farm. They are so much more technically advanced than I am because they have to be, to do all this stuff, to know how to run this. And it's all for the good of the land, good of, it's saving money. It's being more productive. There's just so many things out there. I find it fascinating. I think back to all the introductions that have happened at the Farm Progress Show over the years. I remember when C&H first unveiled their first autonomous tractor, no seat, and everyone was going, wow, can you believe this? No one used it for a while, but now that's getting to be common use out there, So this really is the place where everything is. A lot of these great new inventions are shown, showcased, and even tinkered with a little bit to make them really truly field ready.
And here's just a bit of a shameless pun, but one of the big buzzwords is drones. In the last few years, do you actually have a drone demonstration?
I believe we do. Out in field demonstrations, I believe there is an area with drones. We have in the past, and I believe there is one. I'm not 100% on that, Marlon, but I think there is because, but amazingly, even drones are becoming a little bit more old school. A few years ago, as people looked at them, it was like, wow, could you believe that? And we even had the one that you could get in, and it was like a mini drone, but a pilot could be in it. It was at the last 2 Farm Progress shows. So you have a lot of that stuff out here, but I don't think it's as unique as it once was. 2, 3, 4 years ago when they first came out, people were like, wow. But now with their ability to spray and what they're doing with all that spraying, it's becoming more mainstream. I think that's what I mean. It certainly is not going away. It's growing fast.
Well, this is truly a show that has international appeal. And I know I was always fascinated when I've covered this show over the years that the wide array of people that come from all over the globe. And I would imagine it's no different this year. But any idea what kind of countries are going to be represented?
Well, South America is always the biggest, Brazil, et cetera. In fact, I talked to someone who runs a tour company. He has 9 groups coming from South America this year, just him alone. We've never had more letters of invitation. Certainly in recent history, not since COVID. We would anticipate one of the largest international crowds we've ever had. Usually that's anywhere from 45 to 50 plus countries or whatever people come from. But you're mainly going to be looking at countries that have, corn and soybeans and crops very similar to ours. They're the ones that are going to learn the most from being here. And I always want to say, even though that's a lot of countries and a lot of people, it's still just a little fraction of everyone you will see at the Farm Progress Show. They just oftentimes stick out because they'll have the same show shirts on or the same backpacks, and people go, hi, international visitors. But we welcome people from all over, but we'll also have 45 plus states here as well. So it's a very big national show as well as an international show.
Any idea what kind of a crowd you're expecting this year?
Well, it's always weather dependent. We're going to have, 150,000 plus. Providing we have 3 great days of weather. That would be a total attendance over those 3 days. So, there is no larger gathering of customers of Midwest companies, or there's no other larger gathering of ag media. So this story gets told over and over and over again through all the media that are here as well.
Now, a lot of people, they look at these shows and they go, oh my gosh, it's so much walking. And that's true. If you want to look at it that way, there's so much to see. There can be a lot of walking involved, but you actually have accessibility taken into account in case somebody doesn't want to walk that much. You do have like golf cart rentals, correct?
That's correct. There are golf cart rentals right now. You no longer can rent them. There is a certain amount every day you can come in, but they're sold out, those that are online. But if you are disabled, you certainly can bring your own golf cart. You cannot bring a 4x4 or anything like that, but a golf cart, you can bring that, but you have to get it registered. There is a fee for that, so you can't just drive it in. There's a fee, and you have to sign a waiver and all that sort of thing, unless you're disabled. And if you're disabled and you have the handicap sticker, you still have to register it. If you have that, you can bring that in, and we'll take care of you with your golf carts. But there are still some available every day, and there are mobility scooters available to rent as well.
Are there campgrounds nearby in case somebody wants to come and stay for a couple of days?
Right on the grounds. I mean, you can go to farmprogressshow.com, and then you'll find some campground availability when you there. That's right on the site. If you want to park, if you're self-contained and you don't need electricity or you don't need a sewer water hookup or anything, we actually have camping right here on the grounds in the north parking lot.
Wow, doesn't get any closer than that.
No, it's pretty. You can walk to the show.
You kind of thought of everything here. So if our viewers out there across the country and beyond want to get more information about this, what's the website that they can go to?
Go to www.farmprogressshow.com. So a lot of S's in there when you get to it, 2 S's and then 3 S's in a row, but farmprogressshow.com. You're going to find everything you need to know there. The schedule's on there, to pre-buy tickets if you want to buy tickets in advance. They're $15 if you buy them in advance versus $25 at the gate. So it's certainly worthy of doing that ahead of time. That also gives you some fast pass lanes to get in if you have your ticket, and but pretty much everything you want to know there is there. You can also download the app. That's a really quick way to see the latest and greatest of exhibitors that are here, a schedule, and just go in and look for Farm Progress Show 24, and you can find that as well.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that's great to just keep it in your pocket, and that way you always have a map with you and that sort of thing.
It works well. And the other thing I will say is, ever at the Farm Progress Show, we have Wi-Fi blanketing the grounds. John Deere has sponsored Wi-Fi. You just have to go in and sign up for the JD Link Wi-Fi, but you'll also be able, sometimes with all this big equipment and all these people here, the Wi-Fi may not be as good as you would like, the coverage. This year we have that covered with the JD Link throughout the grounds.
Really? Well, if you can pull that off, well done, I would say, because that is always a challenge when you have that many people all on the same time.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. I know you're very busy, but thank you for taking time to visit with us. And I just hope you have a terrific show. We always look forward to it. And you reminded me when we started the interview that Husker Harvest Days is not far away, right?
It's just 2 weeks later. So, yeah, we have this show next week, the week of Labor Day. We're setting up for Husker Harvest Days, and then that week after that is Husker. So that'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as well. And the crops look great out there if people want to go. We put a little bit more beef focus because that's certainly beef area out there. And Huskers are really coming together to be a great show as well.
Don, that's awesome. Thanks again for talking with us. Don Tourte with the Farm Progress Show, and he's looking forward to everything taking place in Iowa this year. And I hope you all can make it. Well, that'll do it for this episode. Thanks again for joining us. Appreciate it. For producer Brianne Hendrickson, I'm Marlin Bohling. We'll catch you next time right here on the Comstock channel. Thanks for joining us on our Comstock YouTube channel. Don't forget you can also find us on Facebook and TikTok as well. Futures trading involves risk. The risk of loss in trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor and or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance is not indicative of future results.